Shivulsis speaking. Children, we have been dealing with exercise 13.2 and we are over till question number 10. I have already conducted the live class on these questions up to question number 10, as well as I have shared a video on these questions. So here is question number 11. This is I'm going to explain this question number 11 in this video, as well as we'll be discussing about a new chapter, mensuration, exercise 13.2, mensuration, second exercise. So here in question number 11, so the question is about a school has 8 periods a day, each of 45 minutes, duration. How long would each periods be if the school has 9 periods a day, assuming the number of school hours to be the same? So in a school there are like 8 periods in a day. As we know that school timing remains fixed for every schools. It may starts at 11 o'clock and gets over at 3:30. Let us consider our school timing. It starts at 10:30 a.m. and it gets over at 3:30 p.m. So this timing is fixed. This cannot be changed. Okay. So suppose there are 8 periods we are conducting. So the duration of each one period is 45 minutes. Now, suddenly there is a changes in the school timing. So the new school timing, new duration for each period is being allotted. Suppose there are 9 periods. Suppose now the management has decided there will be 9 periods in a day. So obviously, as the school timing is fixed, as there are 8 periods in a day, so duration of each period is 45 minutes. Now, as there are 9 periods, so obviously it's quite understandable that this duration of each period will be decreased. Before there was 8 periods, 45 minutes. Now when this period has been increased, as it was 8, now it's 9. So obviously it's quite understandable. It's quite clear that the duration of each period will be decreased. Okay, how much? What will be the new duration for each period, that is unknown to us. This is what we will find right now. So we will write a statement: let the duration for each period, duration of each period for 9 periods a day, 9 periods a day, b is equal to x or x minutes, whatever. So we are just going to prepare a box, as we know that we have to represent such values, such elements in a box only. So the first box will be filled with number of periods a day, number of periods a day, and the next one will be duration of each period. So number of periods a day is 8. Duration of each period is 45 minutes. 9 periods a day. Duration of each period is x minutes. Okay, according to the question, we know that in inverse proportion, this elements belongs to inverse proportion. In inverse proportion, we multiply up and down, and in direct proportion we multiply cross. So in inverse proportion, we are going to multiply up and down. 9 into x will be 9x, and 8 into 45, let it be 8 into 45 as it is, because it will be quite easier for us to cancellation. So here I am writing x is equal to this number 9, which was multiplied to x, will be transposed from left hand side to the right hand side. It will be 8 into 45 by 9. So 45 and 9 will be cancelled. 5 9s are 45. X is equal to 5 8s are 40. the value of x is equal to 40. 5 nines are 45 and 5 into 8 is 40. So the duration for each period, as it was 45 minutes, now it will be 40 minutes for 9 periods. So this is completely belongs to inverse proportion. This is not direct proportion. This is from inverse proportion. Okay, this is from inverse proportion. Now, so we'll write a statement. Therefore, the duration for each period is 40 minutes. So this is how we have to deal with such kind of questions, children. So this was a concept of in direct and inverse proportion. So children, we are over with this chapter. If there are any doubts or confusions, please feel free to drop your queries in comment section in Google Classroom as well as in WhatsApp group, in WhatsApp academic groups. Feel free to clear your doubts. I'm always there next to you to help you out. Children, please try out these questions, as these questions are really very important. And these questions are primary concept of the basic concepts of direct and inverse proportion. So please do practice very nicely. Now children, let us talk about the chapter mensuration. As this mensuration chapter, we have already completed exercise 11.1. We have discussed about perimeter and area of various figures and shapes, in which we talked about how to find area of a square, area of rectangle, perimeter of square and rectangle, and in some questions there were some broken figures. We used to draw lines and separate the figures in order to find the area separately, and we used to add those areas in order to get the area of the complete figure. So we had a discussion on those things. So right now 11.2, this is about 11.2 exercise 11.2 is about trapezium. It's about trapezium, how to find the area of trapezium. Children, the very first thing that we need to know, these things we have already understood in previous class, in class 7. Again in class 8 it has been given. So what is trapezium? Before we find the area of trapezium, we will come to know what is trapezium. Trapezium is a quadrilateral in which only one pair of sides are parallel. Only this side and this side are parallel. Only one pair of sides are parallel. I'm not saying equal, I'm only saying parallel to each other. Children, try to understand. I repeat, a quadrilateral in which only a pair of sides are parallel but unequal. That kind of quadrilaterals are known as trapezium. So this is a trapezium. Okay. If now question is that, sir, if they are parallel and equal, suppose they are becoming equal right now, so what the changes will be there? If they are equal, it will form a rectangle. If this side and this sides are parallel and equal, then it will become, if I join other two sides, it will form a rectangle. So in order to get a trapezium, the pair of opposite sides which are parallel to each other, they must be unequal to each other. They must be unequal. Okay, now the formula of area of trapezium is is equal to half into height into a plus b. Half into height into a plus b. H for height, A for A and B are the parallel sides. A and B are the parallel sides. So sum of the parallel sides, half into H into sum of the parallel sides, A plus B. So here, so children, in the first question, question number 1, there is a tabletop there is a tabletop in which the sides are this side is 1.2 meter. The figure is there. Figure has been given. Diagram. This is 1.2 meter. This is 1 meter, and the height is 0.8 meter. So how to find the area of this trapezium? Area of trapezium equal to half into height into a plus b. Half into height means 0.8. A plus b means 1 plus 1.2. So half into 0.8 into 1 plus 1.2 means 2.2. As we all know that we have to do the calculation for bracket first. Now let us remove this point. If we are supposed to get 10, let us remove this point. We are supposed to get 10. Now this 2 and 22 will be cancelled. I'll get 11. So 8 into 11 is 88 by 10 tens 100. Answer is 0.88. As there are two zeros, so it will be 0.88 meter square. We all know that the unit of area always comes in meter square. So this is how we have to deal with these questions. I believe it's clear. In the next video, we will discuss about the remaining questions of exercise 11.2. Till then, thank you so much, children. Bye-bye. Take care.